All right, what's up, everyone? It's Major Tom here, representing international investing. Gonna make another video for you guys because it has been a while. Um, I do think a lot of the meme tickers are gonna run purely because they're cracking down on short selling due to what happened with the bank stocks. If we take a look at GameStop, because GameStop did push pretty high yesterday. All GameStop was is just a rejection of a double top. So boom, rejects the resistance there. Boom, rejects the resistance there. And then we had a little consolidation after that. Um, that's a little short-term price action. We take a look at the SPY. SPY is currently rejecting off of a supply zone. Boom, boom, another double top. Double top's really powerful. SPY's already back down to 411. If we zoom out a little bit, you can see where this white line could quite literally be drawn all the way across the chart because we have a supply zone at that level. Boom, hit a supply zone here, sell off, boom, boom. And the stock came all the way back down to 403. So that's where our next support is. It's at 403. I'm actually looking for some kind of event or something to push us lower here. If I take a look at the VIX is actually increasing. Looks like the VIX bounced off of a bottom yesterday, right here, which tells me that we are not done to the downside yet. If the VIX makes this move all the way up to 890, you could probably expect the SPY to be down at 406 to 403. A few earnings reports that I'm looking into is August 3rd is Duke Energy. I'm basically short 100 Duke calls because if you take a look at the resistance here, we have a resistance at 99.50. We have a resistance over here, 99.50, 99.50, and it just keeps rejecting off of that. And it has a support down here at 97. So this stock barely moves. It's a good stock to kind of sell options on, collect that premium. A good stock to own options on and own calls on is actually United Airlines, in my opinion. United Airlines is currently against the resistance, and it has hit this resistance here. And here we're looking for a breakout. One of the reasons why I think airlines are primed for a breakout is because, again, their next quarter earnings is going to be an all-time record, and that's across the entire sector, not just United Airlines. So if you find a good deal on something like American Airlines and you want to play the wheel strategy on this stock, it's the perfect stock to play the wheel strategy on. It likes to hover between $13 and $15. So every time it goes to $15, sell covered calls. Every time it gets close to $15, sell covered calls at the 16 strike. Every time it goes down to $13, you can sell cash secured puts and hope to enter a position below $13 per share. That would be an absolute steal, and then you could just keep running the wheel strategy on it to collect more and more shares. One of the companies that we've talked about in the past and we are still holding calls on is TWLO. TWLO is a B2B business, meaning that they make money off of other businesses, not customers. And if we take a look at their next quarter earnings, they are forecasted upwards. That earnings date or that earnings release is actually today. Super bullish on this company. If we take a little look here, the fair value for TWLO is still set at $69.12. That is a massive way to run up, considering it's currently at $54. One of the reasons why I'm so bullish on this is because they make their money mostly off of the blue chip stocks like Uber, DoorDash, Google, all of the apps. Pretty much, they use Twillo's like voice recognition and all kinds of other stuff like that to make their apps work. From what I understand, they do messaging, programmable voice, programmable video, and a bunch of other more complicated things that make apps and blue chips function. So if all the other blue chips reported great earnings, it wouldn't surprise me to see Twilio report great earnings. And the fact that their EPS is just trending upwards in this beautiful like check mark shape is just amazing. And basically getting above their estimate of 0.21 and getting above their beat from last quarter at 0.22, if they surprise to the upside, is going to be huge because it's going to signal that their future forecast is probably going to be even higher and even higher, and they're going to get closer to that whole number EPS, which is going to be pretty big. Taking a look at JD.com, every time the S&P 500 gets beat up, take a look at JD, and what you want to do is sell puts on JD at the 33 strike because its resistance is right here at 33.50. So if you can get JD.com down to like $34, selling puts at $33 is always a good idea. We see the next earnings call at an estimate of 0.51. That is a little bit of a decline, but JD.com is a pretty big company, and their market cap is $49 billion. This company is based out of China, so it's a little bit more resistant to all the U.S. price movements. Also taking a look at BEKE, which is another Chinese company. This company does real estate, and their next earnings report is actually upwards. So if you're looking at a play where you can kind of run the wheel strategy like on American Airlines, this is another stock that's got a lot of China exposure. That would be a good stock to run the wheel strategy on. It likes to fluctuate between, I'd say, like $9 and like $20. So if you can get this thing at like, today it's probably going to get beat up a little bit before earnings, probably going to go down to like $13, $14 a share. If you want to get shares and then sell covered calls after it spikes following earnings, you probably get the stock up to like 19, $20, and then like sell calls the $20 strike, wait for it to come back down, and then buy more shares, buy more shares, buy more shares. So that's always good. And then if we take a quick look at the website, we'll see if there's any interesting plays on the fundamental value scanner. SPY outlook forecasted price is still 404. It's funny how the forecasted price based on the earnings per share is still 404. And if we take a look at the SPY, the current resistance is at 404 and the VIX is rising. So I just think that's pretty crazy. So we're getting a little bit of insane signals from WTER, the alkaline water company, and this stock is a little interesting because it's only $1 a share. Typically, we don't cover stocks like this, and you can't really even play options on it. But what's insane to me is that TradingView messes up its EPS. But if we take a look on macro axis, which basically combs through all of its balance sheets and everything, it's valuing this company at $6.50. So I think it's accurate that it's showing up on our radar. But I don't think TradingView is correctly capturing its earnings per share. If we take a look at their EPS or their financials, maybe they'll have a correct estimate. Estimate next quarter is 0.03. So as you can tell, they've sort of been bleeding cash over the years, it looks like. And this would be a little bit of a turnaround play. If they do report a 0.03 EPS, it could be huge for the company. But if we take a look at this, I think they're only valuing this stock at like what, $11 million? I mean, there's very little risk to the downside on this unless they go bankrupt. So it's something to keep your eye on. I haven't done the proper amount of research on this yet, but this stock is certainly interesting at $11 million. You would think that like going to $4 would be no problem at all, but Um, we're gonna have to see. It looks like they had to do a 1 for 15 split here. It's curious as to why a stock that's trading at $4 would do a 1 to 15 split and then still trade at $1. But interesting things, very interesting things. Down here on the website, we also added a 3 month outlook where we basically share where the company is looking to invest. So currently, I talk about OPEC cutting supplies of oil, futures market pricing barrels at $55 a barrel, while the current price on if you were to just go out and buy a barrel right now is $71 a barrel. This is what's basically causing oil companies to lose money at record rates and causing airline companies to make money at record rates because they have like no margin. So, or they have tons of profit margin. So, this is kind of what we're looking at now. Basically, this week we're looking at mostly chop, not expecting anything to do any crazy breakouts, not expecting any black swan events. I think the banking issue is probably on hold or on pause for a little while the regulators look into short selling and how all these banks got absolutely pummeled and almost delisted. Some of them did get delisted, so um, just be safe out there. Take into account what kind of trades you're making before you make them, and just remember that this is probably more than likely going to chop unless you see a breakout above 413, and then above 413, look for the next resistance at 418. Other than that, I just play sideways or play downside. That's just my personal outlook on it. So for this week, I don't think it's going to be very exciting, unfortunately. But stay safe out there and have fun trading. Peace.